Welcome to Always Always On with Tonya Jay, featuring DJ J.U. Ice. What's up, DJ J.U. Ice? What's up, Jay? I'm live here in Times Square.
I'm just down the street. I'm just down the street from you right here in Schubert Alley. Where all the plays, the Broadway might open. We don't know if it's going to happen now. But anyway, this is Friday night. We're bringing it to you live, the Friday date night. You don't have to stay home and get down on your Netflix, share the account. You know Netflix is cracking down on sharing that account, y'all. So y'all better check yourself.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
and this is a big night. Show us what time it is. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it is big out here. A lot of people out here. Look. Anyway, we got a good show for you all today. Tonight. Yeah, we got a hot show.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We got psychologist Dr. Pete coming up. He's gonna help us talk about some issues, mental health issues, as usual. And we got Adam. He's a dog rescuer. I can't pronounce his name, Jay.
And his name is Adam Sostrin. He rescues dogs. It's his passion. It's his life. He almost walked away from his law practice. You know, one of those callings. And so he's happening. There's a lot of content out there. As you know, this is the anniversary of Breonna Taylor. I don't want to start on a down note, but it's International Women's Month. We got to mention Bree, say her name. That's a big deal. As you know, we were going to go live from RBG, the statue that was going to represent, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and what she has to say and so much she's been saying. I got to remember to turn off my Do Not Disturb because as you guys are texting, it's coming on the screen. And I see my main man Juice in the building, J.U. Ice.
Right.
What's up, J.U. Ice? Always on.
J.U. Ice. Can you hear us? J.U. Ice.
J.U. Ice is on cannabis. We're getting on the rebound. All right. So listen.
Yeah, we got a couple. So our RBG did have a statue put out in Brooklyn today. It is Women's International Month, Women's History Month. That's what it is. So it's a great thing, and the statue came out just in time for her birthday, which is Monday. Monday's her birthday. So happy birthday to RBG.
And you know what happened? I don't know if you can still see me, but one of my guests who was going to be on sent us a little love too. She was talking about RBG. Karina Mitchell, who's New York One. She said she took the back and got the back, and she, I heard the second shot you could get a little sore. So she took 2 shots. She had both shots, and she said she feels a little nauseous, a little sore. So I've been hearing that about the second shot. But as you all heard yesterday, President Biden announced that we have some goals in mind where he's trying to make it by May 1st. Everybody's eligible for the shot. So I think that's good news.
Although, that's huge.
There might be some pushback. We can ask the doctor about that. It seems like some communities don't want as much. Don't trust the vaccine. They don't trust the vaccine. But let me read you something really quick about RGB. She was the first case on the behalf of the ACLU heard by the Supreme Court was Reed versus Reed, a landmark case in women's rights. She wrote and established the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. So RBG has a lot to go down with, and that's why her and Biana and women and this month is very essential.
Oh, wow.
So that's a lot, discrimination, violation, Constitution, all that stuff that we fight hard for, so that is the skinny,
So we're going to bring up our next guest here. We have Dr.
All right,
Pete,
let's do it.
Pete Donnelly coming in here. Dr. Pete, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Dr. Pete, introduce yourself. Tell the world who you are. We're live in New York City right now.
Live in the city. I see.
Yes. We're in Times Square.
I'm Dr. Pete Donnelly. I'm a licensed psychologist. Wishing I was in the city live in Times Square. I went out yesterday with my daughter, actually. She just turned 14. And we hung
happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm a
Pisces love. Pisces.
Oh yeah, she is a Pisces. That's right. That's good. That's good. Pisces and everything. So what y'all do? Y'all had a good time?
We hung out in Central Park and had a great time. Yeah, it was a good time. It's always good to be in the city.
Always good. I didn't think the vibe was going to be this big like this, though. I was expecting to be low, but it's really high.
Yeah.
So Dr. Pete, tell us about what you do.
So I'm a psychologist. I'm a general practitioner. I work in New Jersey, and I service mostly. Luckily, my practice is. I'm in private practice. I service mostly African American population. So I'm doing my thing over here. I have a podcast. I do stream online with stereo, and so I do a bunch of things. I'm an educational consultant. Yeah. A psychologist, I'd say, a jack of many trades. But I'm helping.
I see.
Yeah.
A lot of jobs. That's a great thing. You know, we were just mentioning, you know, before we step into this whole Diana and, you know, not Diana, Meghan Markle and the whole skin tone, we were just talking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and how much she meant to women. And we're going to start off with Women's International Month. And just wanted to get some feedback from you as far as like Breonna Taylor. It's a year anniversary and everything that's taken place. Could you touch on any of that before we jump into Diana? I'm walking backwards down Schubert Alley. Hopefully it's not making you dizzy.
Yeah. So, you know, I guess your question, I mean, we've been going through a lot as a people. It's not been an easy process. And I think being in COVID has kind of really had us doing a lot of thinking. You know, a lot of folks are out of work, and so they've been doing a lot of thinking about what it means to be in this world. And so these dynamics, I think, in some ways escalated. But yeah, I think, you know, I'm not really sure exactly how you want me to answer the question, but yeah, I
just lobbed it up there. I mean, it's not really, you know, it's just kind of like you said on the point of we're doing a lot of thinking about how our hearts are, you know, what's triggering us.
Yeah. And I think I got to tell you. So I mean, I know that you had asked me. We were talking about Markle, and we were talking about just in a really world where race has become constantly in our face. We're looking at you know, you turn on social media, you're seeing, you know, another person being slain. You're seeing the protests, Black Lives Matter. The question of race, I mean, Trump in a post-Trump America, we're looking at the question of race has become, I mean, at the forefront of all of our people. And so whether or not you believe in race, because it is a social construct, racism is undeniable. And I think we're all kind of trying to figure out how we're going to work in spite of it, you know?
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, talking about racism and everything. Well, you know, Megan had her big interview with Oprah last week, but and she touched on some things that you can probably explain about depression and suicide.
Yeah.
So do you you know, what makes a person think about suicide? I mean, you know, depression and everything. I know it's hard, you know, but what makes a person really want to check out?
Well, I mean, there's a number of things that makes a person check out, and I think that sometimes the main thing I think the research shows is hopelessness. There's a point when a person becomes tired and really fatigued and feels like, you know, their condition's not going to change. Depression is insidious, and I think we all experience sadness at some times. And I think that, again, going back to the pandemic, I think being, you know, isolated has kind of heightened some of that experience for many of us.
Right.
You know,
Right.
And so it shows up, you know, in a lot of ways in terms of people's functioning out. And after a while, they start to feel like they can't shake it. That down feeling, that persistent sadness, the irritability, you know, I mean, there's a lot of symptoms that is related to eating, sleeping. They're all affected and impacted.
Right. So
I know.
Go ahead, Jay.
No, because I get that. We all feel sadness, and you know, everyone, like for instance, you know, J-Lo and A-Rod broke up, or allegedly.
Yes.
You know, there's so many, and last week Kim and Kanye, and even your own friends and family, we're all going through something. So
Absolutely.
like, what can you do? What tips can you do? Like Megan was saying, her voice was, you know, we keep referring to Megan because of the bombshell interview, but she could have been Jane Jones or Jane Smith, because it's all of us struggling with
Absolutely.
something.
Right,
I
right,
think
right.
the thing that makes that an interesting case, and I think something that's important, is most of us are struggling with something quietly. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like we're struggling with this thing, and it's a private struggle that most people are not aware of what's going on first, and we keep it hidden because there's so much stigma around depression. So I think it's really tough for some folks to kind of feel like they're okay, in spite, in coping with their issues. So a lot of folks, and particularly in our community, 1 in 3 don't even get treatment. They'll suffer with depression, mental illness. They won't get treatment. And what we find in our community, there's such a stigma around therapy that folks avoid treatment till it's too late. And so we often see folks. I used to work in a psych ER in Harlem Hospital, and we'd see folks in those type of ER situations where they've broken down, where they have attempted maybe suicide, and that's when they finally resort to getting help. And
What
so
do
we're not
you,
proactive in mental health treatment. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
what do you see most? What comes? I mean, in this time, it's been a year, and I mean, I guess I don't know if today's the anniversary. Yesterday or today is kind of the anniversary of the pandemic. Biden spoke. There's a lot going on. What do you see most cases that kind of come your way?
So I think so okay, like one of the hallmark parts of depression is the symptoms is not finding happiness in things that you once found happiness. Right? So it made you happy before, but now you're not happy with it anymore. So this is a major part. Now with the pandemic, a lot of the things that you once made you happy, you can't do it,
Right,
right? So
right.
whole another level of impact, right? So now, because activity is probably the biggest heal, like the best thing to do when you're struggling with depression. It's the hardest thing to do, but when you're limited in your activity, you're kind of forced to isolate. In some ways, it puts you directly with kind of this Groundhog Day kind of effect, where it's wake up. And you're addressing the same issues. Sometimes you're boxed in with other people and their emotional issues, which can exacerbate your stuff. And so I've seen a lot of relationship stuff. I've seen a lot of people just feel a deep sense of purposelessness. A lot of people have lost their employment. You guys are, I'm looking at you guys. I'm more interested in New York. How could you be listening to me when you're hanging out in the city? I'm like, wait, it's not even a fair conversation.
Well, what, and that was what we were hoping for. We figured we locked in. Why stay in the house? We had the option, So we took a chance just to show some of the landmarks of the Big Apple, to try to bring some brightness to the not only the podcast and production, but just to the conversation, so to speak.
Yeah,
And we're able to tap on points, So
it's funny. We were out there when I was out there yesterday, and I imagine it was his first real nice day yesterday. Was like probably the nicest day of the year out in the city. And when I stepped out, one of the things I kept thinking about is you're almost distracted.
They out here.
Like
They're
out there, right? Every
Yeah,
step,
yes.
every step you take, there's people around you, so it's hard to kind of just enjoy the moment. When I was in New York, like you're like, how close am I? Is this, and I see, you have your mask on, Tonya, and I see, so there's always this kind of fear, and it's kind of like an anxiety that's imminent. And then, do you feel what I'm talking about when you're out and about?
No,
It's like you want to be out and about, but you're kind of a little
Absolutely.
bit worried.
Listen, I told several people to step back away from them. They were really standing too close. Seriously. I mean, I was looking at this girl's stomach. Seriously. So yeah, I still have some anxiety. Like, even if the world opened up, the vaccine's here. Biden's up here talking about by the end of May, everybody should be vaccinated. But I'm still going to be, like, get away from me. I'm not going to feel comfortable. Still.
I think people agree with you. I think most people would agree with you. I think, there's a big split. And I'm really, that's been a tough thing for kind of getting a hold of this thing, I think, right? The country's been really split about, whether or not this thing even exists. And now they're split about whether or not they should get the vaccine. I see you over there looking around vigilantly.
You gotta definitely watch your back.
I gotta watch my back.
It's NYC. I mean, listen, I'm in Schubert Alley, and even though, like you said, there's life where you are, Tonya, which is just down the block. You just like on 45th or 46th Street in Manhattan. I'm on 43rd Street or 44th where, you know, Sardi's is, and Sardi's is a ghost town. So there's still that apprehension of not everything is quite back.
Right.
But people do want to be out. Oh, can't get in the street. But people do want to be outside, as you can see. But, you know, we picked the heart of the town, too. I mean, we're in the heart of the city, but people want to, there's more, and the weather's nicer. So yesterday, like you said, Doctor, it was, I think, 75 degrees or so.
Yeah.
It was about 75. It was really nice. Really nice.
Right. Absolutely.
Hey, so, you watching your back? You want your back?
Absolutely. I mean, you can't be too paranoid, but everybody's out.
So listen, Doctor, I know you do a lot of stereo shows and everything, and I only listen to about one or two. But Rolanda said you have an infamous laugh that I gotta hear it.
You like it? Yeah, you know. Once we start saying some funny stuff, I'll give you my laugh. 100%. You know,
so I got a funny. Can you believe somebody paid $69.3 million for a painting?
Right.
You hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about it.
It's not funny. It's just crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. People are bored and got too much money. They can give me some of the money. That's for sure.
I don't know if you heard the saying, but they say it ain't tricking if you got it. Have
Hey,
you heard that?
I love that. Yes. Chicken if you got. I love it. I like that song.
Yeah.
I know you know the song, right?
Yeah,
You know?
that's it. So
yeah.
Oh my God.
I feel like one of the things that's been important too, you mentioned Stereo, the app. A lot of folks have been kind of resorting to social media, and it's such a mixed bag, right? Because you're stuck inside, but we all know social media is really complex. It comes with a lot of comparison. And so now that's another thing that exacerbates the depression. It makes things a little bit worse because you start to say, well, how are they looking happy? How are they looking fulfilled? But I'm still living this existence. If that makes sense. And so, but at the same time, social media gives you a sense of being connected. So this is it's complex, and I think the Stereo app for many of us who kind of jumped on Stereo, it allowed for us to kind of have a social contact, connection with others, conversations with new people, where in the pandemic that wasn't really possible. So I think I think that's social media has been important for many of us, and so I think that's one way to cope with the pandemic. Let me ask you, not as your doctor, but how have you been coping with the pandemic? What's been your thing?
Oh, doctor, I'm so glad you asked me. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah.
So, because I ran so much, the pandemic for me for months until about maybe 2 or 3 months ago was like a rest time for me. Like I rested, I didn't have to run in the city every day. I didn't have to, that was the biggest thing for me. So resting, I was okay with it for a moment until a couple of months ago. And now I'm itching to do something like, I got to go somewhere. I really want to go somewhere, but I know, but mentally, I guess I've been okay, Yeah. I mean, I wanted.
A lot of people say that. A lot of people said that the pandemic offered them an opportunity for solitude. They can kind of pull away from the pressure of the everyday and turn inward. I found that there was 2 types of people, right? There were the type of people who, I mean, and even that, I shouldn't even say it's only 2 experiences, because for myself, it's been both ends. Sometimes it's felt like isolation, like where I was having a little cabin fever. So, you're constantly trying to mix it up. Could you feel both of those experiences? You were saying,
Yeah, I did.
I
agree with both. I agree with you. I was trying to bike around a lot during this whole pandemic because you started to get that cabin fever. You could, especially if you live, like I live in Manhattan, and so you have like 800 square feet. And that's a stretch. I probably got 500 square feet. Between me, the dog, your wifey, it's just too tight. So you wanted to get out. But at the same time, you shut down everything. I tried to meditate. I did fitness. I did, Tonya and I tried to do the podcast. You try to have some normality, but you also at the same time tried to be sick. because
Right.
you didn't want people too close to you. You didn't want to get sick. You didn't want to die. It became so desperate at one time that you almost kind of lost your mind. But
Yeah.
now you feel like it's been a year, you adjusted somewhat, you're
Yeah.
part of the millions who making it, and you said, hold on, it felt
Right.
like I was in church at one point, like, hold on, that's saying like, hold on, he might not be here when you need him, but he's gonna be here when so that's what I
Right.
was doing. I was just trying to hold on,
Right.
but without taking chances, because I'm not a chance taker,
Yeah.
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 I'm not.
It-
I mean, I take chances, but yeah, this was serious. I couldn't take that much of a chance,
Not when you
It
have
was
kids,
serious.
families.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
so
we
you're
slowed it down.
and that's one of
So
the things too. I think we're constantly trying, and given what was going on, constantly trying to assess risk, right? It's exhausting in a different way because you're trying to attend to and mitigate every potential risk. You're paying attention, and you must pay attention. Did I touch that? Did I wash my hands? Did I use this?
Right.
Even down to the micro.
Exactly.
Do I grab a door handle? Right? Like, did I grab it with my elbow? What do I do with my elbow? Right? Like, you're looking for an invisible enemy that's all around, right? And that could be a little crazy making, right? I mean, that's in the least very exhausting. So if many of us were struggling with mental illness and mental issues, depression, all of these things prior to the pandemic. And I think, again, the pandemic just kind of, if you think about it like a cauldron, just turned the heat up a little bit on our stuff.
Right. So I got a question for you. What kind of advice would you give to the children who's been locked up, couldn't go nowhere, can't see their friends, and they're about to start back school?
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be some mental issues around that, about being around people.
A lot of people ask me that, and I don't quite agree. I think there was some increased video gaming. I know a lot of parents are concerned about that. Again, increased social media use, and so there was some issues there. But I kind of feel like this, right? It was a time, I kind of look optimistically at most of it. It was a time for most of us to kind of get back, connect with our families. These kids spent more time with their parents than they have in a long time.
Exactly.
And families had to get kind of creative on how they were going to spend time. People went for walks. If you remember, before the winter's been tough, but before the winter, folks were in the parks, more in the parks than you'd ever seen. So I don't really as and then you got to really see who were you going to let into your circle. So you started doing some who's really your friends. There was some gatekeeping going, which I don't think is a bad thing, and I think these kids, this is just my deep belief. I hate to say it. Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I think as a society, as people, I think this is all right for us. I think it was okay for us to just wake up to, just first of all, how fragile we are as humans. Right. And some people just need to learn to wash their hands. You hear what I'm saying to you?
Listen,
can we pick up some of that?
I was doing that shit before this COVID pack came out. Don't stand too close to me, and I was washing my hands every day. I mean,
get some personal space going on.
Yeah, exactly. Why are you standing up on me like that? Let me see. Hold on.
Exactly. I gotta tell you, I'm a pretty easygoing guy, right? I'm a psychologist, right? But I have felt like I got into it a couple of times with some old people who are up on me in the pandemic. Folks, you got 6 feet. I guess you got 6 feet. I'm like, hold up, People either get it or they don't, right? I'm like,
they don't care. They don't care. And some people forget now. Some people do forget. They do forget. But we're definitely not in China, so stay away from me. That's all I got.
Right.
Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. We're going to take a little break. It's about what time? What time is it, Juice? It's like 8:30.
Yeah. But I do appreciate what you were saying, because we did pick up a lot of habits that's going to stay with us throughout, life. Now you're going to increase washing your hands. You're going to probably wear a mask as long as you travel. You're going to see how close people are, and the bubble. You definitely was like, okay, this is in my family friend bubble, and you're gonna
Right.
keep that small, you know, or control, like
Much more intimate.
you know, Biden said last night. It's
I
like,
beg,
okay,
I beg to differ. I
Go
know
ahead, go
as soon as everybody gets vaccinated, everybody, all that shit's gonna go out the window. Nobody gonna wash their damn hands. They ain't gonna wear no mask. You're gonna be all up on you. All that stuff is gonna be just like that. It's gonna be just like it was before COVID.
I know people are dying to get out. I know that. This is somebody was saying it, and I think it resonated with me. That people are gonna party this summer. You know what I mean? Like once it really goes down, like people are out here ready to. You know, some people might have saved.
People gonna have a good time.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I can't wait to get to my concert. That's what I want. That's gonna be off the chain.
Yeah.
You know, at least somebody's you know, creative people could have been really creative during this time, during lockdown. So I can't wait to see what they got. That's what I can't wait to see. But hey, Kate, hold on a second.
The shit's getting a little cray-cray out here. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I know. I'm about
on.
to move to a different location.
Where am I?
I
don't know where I am. They dancing. The shit is getting a little cray-cray.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you what you look like from home? You look like two folks who are out there in the world, looking like you want to be right where I'm at, sitting at your house.
Yeah, I need to go home now. I need to go. I need to go home now. I need to go home now. I had enough now. I had enough.
Yeah.
I know. I'm
about to go sit in the car. I'm about to go sit in the car is what I'm about to do.
It's almost a wrap. It's almost a wrap.
Yes, exactly. Right. So let's take this break. Dr. P, hold on a second. Can you turn off your camera and your mic? Huh?
I can turn it off instead or turn it on?
Just
they
mute
also
your mic.
said New York.
Hold on one second.
Sorry.
What happened, Jay?
They also were saying this thing, New York's becoming like what they say, Blade Runner. Now, I wasn't familiar with that term.
What is that?
They were saying how it's becoming a neon, as you can see in the middle of Times Square, it's becoming a neon center. Like they were saying in Blade Runner, everybody went away and there was just big lights everywhere.
Wow.
Like, it just became a ghost town of big lights. Now, New York's not quite that, but there are a lot of big lights here.
So, yeah, we're going to take a break real quick. If you can turn off your camera, that's great. Juice, take us out for about 5 minutes. 2 minutes. Juice, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Juice? Juice. Somebody got to text that man. The DJ, hold on, y'all. Hold on.
All right, we're good.
Yeah.
Dr. Pete, you're the man. Thank you very, very much. How can people find you?
Wait a minute. Go play music. Play music. Break time. All right, yeah. Dr. Peter will be back. He'll be back. We'll be back. It'll take about 2 minutes. Sometimes. Okay,
Do it. Nice. Oh, we lit tonight. Friday night, brother.
Hey! Wait a minute, I got some friends with me here. Are you, Juice?
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's go. I got some friends with me here. Say hi, everybody. Hola, hola, hola. We up here too. This is like the old Times Square.
That's
Say
funny.
hello. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll get you
I
some.
don't know if that quite qualifies as old time Times Square. Maybe if there was a couple more, peep shows and some prostitutes, that might have been making up for old time.
Oh yeah, that's old school.
You remember old Times Square? Let's not act like you don't know.
That's throwback.
That's the Disney. That's post Disney Times Square. Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm
Times-
gonna walk up to these people here. Excuse me. Come on up here. Hello. Yo. Say hello to the people. Say hello. Hi. Okay. But anyways, that's what I do. Oh, I always like to watch the boogie. Oh, we got another guest, Adam Saucepan coming in. Hold on a second. And let me find somewhere quiet. All right, y'all. Sorry. Okay, well, you have to hold on a second. Hold on.
Video.
Hi.
Hello. Start video.
How you
Okay.
doing, Adam? How are
Good.
you?
Good. Can you hear me? Yes,
Can you hear
me?
Hear you.
Yes.
I can hear you.
I have so many audio problems. It sucks. So I'm so glad.
What?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Great.
I can definitely hear you. Everybody else can hear you?
It
Jay?
looks like all of New York maybe can hear me.
No. How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Tonya?
I'm doing just fine. When I'm out here live in Times Square.
Times Square. Okay.
Doing something different. Me and Jay are doing something different and everything. But anyways, introduce yourself to the people. We're trying to figure out, Adam,
The people. Okay. Well, to the people, my name's Adam. I'm buddy of Jay. Jay's my man. Huh?
behind his store.
Okay, I think you kind of froze a little bit. Your video. Is everything good? Can you hear me? See me?
Oh, it did?
Hello, are we good? Hello?
Yeah.
Adam, your volume is coming up with a little bit of a static. As you call.
It's
I'm not
staticky?
sure. It's like hitting the mic a little bit hard. But
okay. What if I back up a little bit? Is that good?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Continue.
Cool. That's how great your microphone is.
It is a great. Let me see. I got a what is that mount thing? The boom arm. I got a boom arm.
Yeah.
And I got the shock mount, and then I put the mic on. Like I didn't know anything about any of this stuff.
Yeah, you're official, man. You're official.
I feel you're not official until you've got the boom arm. Like you feel that.
I know what you mean.
Right? It's another level. Yeah. Another level.
Tanya's frozen. I didn't introduce myself. I don't know how this thing's supposed to go, so I'm just going to talk. She brought me in. I'm going to talk. I'm Dr. Pete, man. I wanted to meet you. How are
Dr.
you doing,
P. You're doctor. Wait,
Yeah.
are you are a doctor of what, Dr. P?
I'm a licensed psychologist here in New Jersey. Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm a general practitioner. Yeah, so they brought me on the show, and I'm just hanging out. So I figured, I can ask questions too. My questions will be like, what did you think about your mother? That type of thing. But
Yeah, great. kind of like in like Howard Stern style.
We're doing
Yeah.
we're doing good right now.
You brought me in. She told me that you were going to be on the show, so she said you needed a psychologist to kind of work with you.
Yeah, I do. I've been praying for this moment, so it's a good thing you're on right now. Yeah.
Good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you. Well, is Jay going to be on too? I don't know how this works.
So they're frozen up for some reason. So I think we're running the podcast for right now.
There's just me and you. All right. So my name's Adam. I'm a lawyer in Southern California. I practice in LA, Orange County, but I also started this thing to help dogs called Dogs Without a Home. And I started it during COVID. And it's been an incredible learning period for me. I mean, I went from only knowing how to do criminal cases to getting a gaming computer, to getting broadcasting software, a mixer, like lighting. Like I had no idea about any of this.
You got a boom mic going.
And I got the boom arm now. Hello there, Tonya.
So Tonya, we're having a little bit of a recording, but Adam was just explaining, and I mean, I think you're doing a great job. So now, tell me a little bit about the dogs. Now you said what's this program about?
Well, so I got this dog. She's from Korea, and I had no idea that they have a problem and that there's sort of a dog meat trade in Korea. They eat dogs there, and actually in a lot of countries in Asia. So I found out about this. And then I'm like, well, maybe I could do something for the dogs. It just sort of came to me. So I did this video.
You mean like a seasoning type of thing?
Huh?
Are you talking about like a seasoning? That was a joke. Adam, you didn't.
That was
not a funny joke when you.
Okay. Hey. Yeah. So
this is a podcast, man.
It's a podcast.
We're supposed to be live.
Right. We're supposed to go crazy here. Yeah. So I don't know what came over me to make me do dogs, because I could talk about politics and stuff like that, but I love dogs, and I felt like on YouTube people aren't really doing YouTube channels on what's happening to dogs. They film them, they say there's abuse, and they film that and they take pictures of it, but no one's actually talking about it or interviewing people about it. So I'm thinking, well, maybe there's an opening here, and so I've just done a few videos, and I just interviewed a woman right before I got on who works for like a Korean rescue. And they ended up saving this dog that was basically tied to a wall. It had about 2 feet of space it could move before it would pull its neck. And it's a really compelling story. So I want to get it out tomorrow. And that'll just be like video number 4. So
let me ask you a question, because I'm a vegetarian, a vegan if I can, right?
Okay, yeah.
So a lot of people say, what's the difference? I mean, a dog and any other animal, right? Like when you're eating animals, you're eating animals.
Well, I've heard that before. And actually, after I got her, I sort of became vegetarian. So I'll have eggs. I'm not vegan, so I'll do eggs. I like that. And I generally don't eat meat that much. And I've thought about the question before. I think the one thing that separates dogs from other animals is that we've been spending tens of thousands of years together, right? There's a really good Neil deGrasse Tyson YouTube on it that basically says, there were wolves, and somehow wolves became Pomeranians, and that's really hard to figure out, right? Like, how does that happen? But there were wolves, and the wolves that, for whatever reason, were predisposed not to be that fearful of humans came close. The humans, gave them their leftovers, and they took care of predators that surrounded these human encampments, and they became closer and closer to these dogs. And eventually, they're the first examples of doing kind of like genetic breeding in history, right? And that's why they sort of morphed and changed over time. But I think we have developed a relationship, and that same relationship doesn't exist with other animals in the animal kingdom, although plenty of them I'm sure are sentient and all that, but we do have that special relationship. So I feel like the people that abuse them or eat them it's like it's almost cannibalistic or something to me. It doesn't make any sense. So that's how I look at it.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry about the technical difficulties.
Yeah,
but I'm here now.
Great.
Dr. Pete, I heard you take over. Thank you so much. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Anyways, I'm sorry, Adam. I missed your story. So first of all, I missed it because that's the whole thing. So you got to go back. So listen, you were an attorney, right?
Yeah, I am an attorney. I do criminal law, basically. Yeah.
Oh, wow. You got the criminals.
Yeah. A lot of criminals.
Oh. Yeah. So what made you get into the dog? Hold on, let me get away from this lady.
There's no connection. There's no connection whatsoever between dogs and criminals. None. It doesn't exist. I rescued this very great dog from Korea, and I'm like, let me try to do something different. And I was doing a bunch of news things with Jay, and I thought, well, it might be fun to do something on the camera, but to do something for a good cause that makes me feel good. The criminal stuff, of course, it's rewarding, but I feel like the dog stuff sort of fills your soul a little bit, right?
Oh yeah. I guess so. I mean? Yeah, because you're basically in line for the criminals. You're lying,
right. Their job is to lie to me, and my job is to represent that. No. It's like it's more of a job. Right. That's just a job, right? Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. And I'm hoping I got to do a bunch of these YouTubes. I found out. Huh?
Yeah.
But I didn't hear that. One more time.
So it seems like she's still having some technical
I was saying, during this pandemic, a lot of, can you hear me?
Yeah, I could catch the tail end part of that.
Yeah, Tonya, you're still breaking.
No,
You're still
not
breaking.
again. No. All right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but there's definitely a lot of. It's like you're watching Star Trek, and then there's spatial interference, and Captain Kirk can't see what's going on.
I'm breaking up.
So why don't I got a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Oh my God. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to do.
Tonya,
check that out. Oh, look at that banner right there, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to move to
That's pretty cool. You're doing that too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I was trying to move out the way, and then I lost connection.
Huh?
Adam, let me ask you. So what is it that you do? You're finding homes for these animals that were under distress? Is that what you're?
It's basically just to. I'm not an animal rescue.
Right.
It's just to sort of just talk about it. So one part of it's going to be Asia. There's one guy I want to interview who's in America. He seems like a cool guy. He's a retired MD, retired 10 years ago. He loves to fly. He loves dogs. So he picks up dogs and then he flies them to their forever homes. And that's a great story. So I want to talk about uplifting stories, things like that. It's not just Asia or whatever, just to sort of get the word out. I'm sure at some point I'll talk about kibble versus raw food,
Right.
I'm trying to make it as varied as possible. And I got to make it a little bit fun. Otherwise, everybody's just going to kill themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So, right? Yeah.
Tonya, I'm not sure. I don't mean to ask. We're having a hard time hearing you. So
every dog is different.
Yes. Every dog's different. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that reception.
Yeah.
Right.
We're having a hard.
So let me ask you, can you hear me now? No? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's breaking up. But you can try. Sure.
Hold on. I don't know. I'm getting the hell up out of here. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. So I was asking, basically, what about during the pandemic, a lot of people got a lot of animals. They wanted to take care of animals and stuff like that. But my whole thing is, animals are like kids. Dogs are like kids, cats are like, they're like kids and everything. So what do you suggest to these people who picked up these animals and all of a sudden the life is coming back? You think they'll keep these dogs that they got?
People talked about that before. I'd heard about that, well, all these animal shelters, for the first time, you can't even find a dog or a cat at some places, let's say, because everybody's getting them because of COVID. And are they going to take them back? I hope not. I don't think so. I really think that there is this bond that you can't escape. And apparently cats give off some pheromone or something, and it's like a physical thing, and it goes into the human's body and it drugs them, and then you end up loving your cat. So
really?
Yeah, like I heard about that. And that was not a good scientific explanation, but there's something that cats do. Because otherwise, why would you get a cat, right? No, I'm kidding. Right. I'm kidding. But
yeah. I'm a dog lover too.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a dog?
No, I had a couple. I haven't had any. I wanted to get a dog during the pandemic, but I also know that I move a lot, so I didn't want to leave the dog alone home alone
Sure.
all the time. So
Sure. Yeah.
And everything. So yeah, but yeah, that was my main concern. All these people went out and bought all these dogs. They were flying them in and paying top dollar for them. Top dollar for these dogs. But when this pandemic is over, will they keep them? That's my question.
Yeah, I think they will. You got to be a real jerk to just say, okay, I want my lifestyle to go back to normal now that I'm back at the office, right? I think people will keep them.
Okay.
So some people won't, of course.
Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah. The animal shelters will definitely fill back up. So here's another one. We're going to switch hats now.
Yeah.
From animal lover to the attorney.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Cuomo real quick. You heard about Cuomo or mayor?
I mean, who hasn't,
mayor,
right?
Our governor.
Who hasn't? Yeah.
So here's my thing.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Why now? Why are all these women coming out now? I mean, we had a whole Me Too movement a year prior. Why now?
Right. I wondered about that too.
And I'm thinking it's political, number one. Number two, I don't know, if he did that, I am so sorry. And yeah, that shouldn't be done. Don't do that stuff.
So I sort of see it as, and this could be a conspiracy theory, but he was definitely a popular opposition to Trump during COVID.
Yeah.
So so it's possible that maybe some of these stories hit, but they never took off because of that. And now they are. But yeah, it does seem like people are coming out of the woodwork now. Why now versus before? I couldn't tell you why.
Yeah. So,
but the nursing home thing, the harassment's, it's bad. And there's different degrees and right. Some are terrible and some aren't as bad, but the nursing home, that should be the worst part. That should be the reason, right? Because he kept everything from everybody.
Right. Well, at the time, I'm not defending anything that he did, but you got to look at it. At the time, nobody knew what the hell was going on. Okay. Yeah. Nobody knew what the hell COVID was, how to treat that shit. Nothing. They didn't know anything. So there was mistakes made. I'm going to say for everybody, every governor, every politician, there was mistakes made. But I don't know, like I said, I don't know all the details of the holding back the numbers. We just know that he held back some numbers. I don't know. And why he did it, I don't know why he did that. But anyways, I don't know. Where's Jay? Did Jay come back? Or he left
Jay back?
Too? Oh, there you go. Unmute your mic, Jay.
Is he
there
here?
You go. Yeah, he's here. Unmute it.
Let's see.
Unmute your mic. It's still muted.
Oh yeah, he's muted. I see him. And now
real quick, I just wanted to say thank you so much for you guys for having me on.
Thank you so much, Dr. P. I know we got to get out of here soon anyway. So
thank you. Nice talking to you.
Go ahead. Yes. So and thank you for carrying me when I was out of the technology problem.
My pleasure. Hey, I almost didn't want to leave because I wanted to make sure your mic was good.
So we're gonna stop this train right now, just in case.
She needs the boom arm. You need the boom arm.
I know.
Yeah.
This is the last decision. But listen. Oh, Jay.
We scrambled to try to bring us all out in the world, like we were saying earlier.
Right.
So normally we would have all been hosting from our quiet studios at home and had none of this. But this was what television is really about.
Right.
Yeah, we are
It was great.
producers.
It
We're
was
television producers. Yes.
Hey, it's so good to see you, Jay.
Likewise. Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, so
here.
Dr. Pete, tell us how we can get to you. How people can find you if they need help.
That's funny that you say that. So I'm in private practice, and my waiting list has a waiting list. So I actually don't want to be gotten to at all. I get a lot of calls every day. I mean, you can imagine. I've been doing this work for a long time. I was a former professor at Rutgers University, and I'm an education consultant, so I work around. But my plate is full, and I'm really just trying to focus on me at this point. And I'm working on stereo. So if you want to listen to my podcast, it's on stereo.com. You can follow me at Ask Dr. Pete on Instagram, and and we'll connect there, man. Hey, listen, I just wanted to tell you real quick. I know it's not my show, but I want to tell you, I'm really impressed by your work, man. That's awesome. That's good stuff. Bringing awareness to this issue is not a little thing. Pete. Yeah, so keep it up, man.
Thank you. We'll definitely have you on again.
Yeah, I just want to real quick. I just want to show you my dog who's licking his butt right now. Everyone, it was great being with you.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Happy
Pete.
Friday.
Thank you.
All right, happy Friday.
Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Adam, tell us how people can reach you if they want to get a dog or anything like that.
Yeah, if you go to sure. YouTube, just Dogs Without a Home is the name of the channel. But I need about 36 videos for me to start getting traction. So I gotta pound these things out.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. This was so much fun. I feel like I'm in some boring Orange County place, and then I'm looking at New York. So this is great.
Yes, this is great. Thank you so much for stopping by.
So guys.
All right,
it was great seeing you, Adam.
See you
all right, you too.
Hey,
all right. Thanks for having me.
Yes, it was wild, guys. It was wild. I like being out in the elements and everything, but it's time to go home. And so I just want to say, Jay, US, can you hear us?
We got you. Got you.
All right, so we're getting ready to get up out of here. I want everybody to have a great weekend. Make sure you check out the show. We weren't live on Facebook today because some technology problem, but I'll definitely put it up and everything. But every Friday, Facebook and IG, TJ Always On. That's where you can find us. Definitely on YouTube and Apple. You smile.
Have a wonderful weekend. Because it's great. I'm excited.
Check out.
I'm excited for the weekend.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm over here by Havana's restaurant. Let's go grab a pulled pork sandwich.
All right, Let's go. All right, peace out, everybody. Peace out.
We just started talking about rescue. Take us out, Juice.
Take us out, Juice. Bring up that music, Juice. Bye.
We're gonna have to give Juice music cues.
I know, right? I can't text at the same time. Bye. Bring the music up.
Nah. What street are you on?
Hey. I'm on over here by the Marriott. On Broadway.
I was just at the Marriott. Okay, walk east. Walk east towards Broadway. And I'm walking west towards Broadway. We'll meet in the middle.
Okay. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Peace out.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Have a weekend. Bye. Peace.
Happy birthday, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
All right.